the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner, where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Sound up in the chat. I am finishing up the poll in one moment. What's nice is that I can just type this without actually knowing what I'm typing, which is weird. Kind of weird to describe verbally. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. How do you think the stock market will react to the ISM on Monday? Bullish AF? Sideways, nothing burger, bearish, or bear trap, then dump? Let me know what you think. What's going on, Jake Dorton? What's going on, Billy? What's going on, Evan? Hey, what's going on, guys? I've moved back in with the uncle because Jane Street is manipulating Bitcoin again. Not at all. Not for any reason. I still own the boats. They're just being rented out. They belong to me, though. I can totally still afford them. Anyways, let's get straight into it. What's going on, Evan, Billy, Jake? How you guys doing? I'm so excited it's Friday. I'm so excited it's Friday. It's crazy. Let's see. Before I even get into the price, because as far as I'm concerned, right now the price is not relevant. Before I even get into the price, and before I delete all of my good fractals and stuff, the Chicago PMI print came in at 57.7. Evan said, I can't hear anything, but I'm here. Maybe try restarting your computer. Dang. That's a callback in case anybody's not aware. Evan has computer problems all the time, and I always have to help him fix it. That's what the callback is. What's going on, Crypto Spaces? So anyways, bullish Chicago PMI print. So the last one came in at 54, and our ISM PMI came in at 52.6. This bad boy comes in at 57.7. So let's see. 42.7. Let's do some math here really quick. Some JJ math, if you will. Philly said, how do we think the stock market will react to what? Couldn't hear you clearly. The ISM PMI. So we have the Purchasing Managers Index from Chicago came in at 57.7. Evan said that's not what happened. See, he's always making stuff up. We're supposed to just pretend like he's right all the time. It's kind of like when you have like an old person who's like starting to forget stuff. You just go along with it. We got to kind of do that for Evan, so if you guys could help me out. He said you had me on mute and had me troubleshooting my stuff. That's what happened, yes. That's what happened, Evan. That's exactly what happened. I remember. Okay. The ISM PMI came in at 52.6, which is an expansion. Anything above 50 is expansion. Anything above 55 is like way overly bullish expansion, like super duper exciting kind of stuff. So we went from, what is that, 47 point something? We'll just call it 47.9. And this guy, 42.7. Interesting. Okay, so there is like a decorrelation. You're doing great, Kevin. You're doing great, Kevin. That's good. That was a good one. Okay. 57.7, 54 to 57.7. So 3.7 is what they added. I mean, if we just add 3.7 without having to get to that exact number, that would be 52.6. Hold on, let me do some math on the calculator. 52.6 plus 3.7. That would put us at a 56.3, which is above 55. Let's see, 56.3. 56.3. Oh my gosh. I'm so good at that. Look at that. 52.6. Oh my gosh. All right. This is my estimate. And that's entirely... Wow, what if we kept that same trajectory up? Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's see if that's what we get. This is my estimate. Then bull run starts. Hopefully, man. I don't know. I'm not saying nothing. I will say no words. I feel like this corner of my room is really dark. It's kind of tweaking. Not me. I'm not tweaking. The corner itself is tweaking. Bitcoin is up. Oh my gosh, look at that little baby fractal on the monthly. That's crazy. Bitcoin is up 0.07 since the daily close. We got our fractal here. We did look at a potential bounce at 65K, which is right here where we just bounced off of, which is pretty cool. Are we going to linger and then eventually pump to 74 March 8th-ish? I don't know. I'd be excited to see that. We do have our blood moon dump scenario potentially happening on March 3rd, so we'll keep an eye on that. I want to draw attention really quick to silver. Silver's up 6.25%. You know what? I haven't actually checked my Robinhood in a couple of days, which is weird. I don't remember if... I know I bought more BMNR. Did I add to my silver position? I have physical silver. Hey, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, shoot. Did I fumble it? Hang on. Okay, not bad, not bad. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Wow. So I did add to my position at some point. I'm up 20%. Very cool. Today I'm up 11 alone. That's pretty sick. Okay. So, I don't know. Maybe I should just DCA the top right here at 93. We got above 90 on silver. Looking good. We held support at 86, it looks like. We got above that. Used that as support bounce twice. And now we're using that rocket liftoff kind of rocket launch pad. Let's see if we can get above 100. That's probably going to be the next spot that we see a little bit of resistance from. We had this descending channel. We lingered towards like the top half. We kind of had like a midpoint support thing going on. Bounced off of that, used that to break above, and then continued to the upside. It looks really good. I'm excited. Our RSI bounced very nicely off of the 50 point. We broke above the moving average, and we are now overbought, but silver doesn't seem to care when we're overbought, so it's not really that big of a deal. Volume looks good. It always looks good. It's silver. Gold is up 1.88%. Precious metals are doing good today. There's uncertainty regarding the potential peace in the Middle East. So we're going to see if that turns into anything, but this is why we hedge. This is why we diversify. And this is why we attend the live streams every single day. And why we also show up to the 12-hour live stream tomorrow. What? What? Are you really going to stream for 12 hours? Yes, I am. What are you going to talk about? Probably nothing. Nothing worth listening to. So make sure you guys attend. I appreciate you guys. Billy said bull run starts 27-28. I've already said if we don't bounce before September, then the 4-year cycle people were correct. If we hit bottom before September, then I'm going to come out and I'm going to say that they were wrong. But only for the sake of being petty. Outside of that, I can't really be bothered. Okay, Let's continue. 88 Metal said, do we know the time yet? I'm guessing right now between 10 a.m. and noon. Worst case scenario, we're looking at 1 p.m. It all depends on when I go to bed today. I don't adhere to any specific schedules. Okay. Bitcoin, 65, 789 and 83 cents. Looking good. We got a bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI on Friday, and that led to a pretty significant dump right here, which then kind of lingered to the downside-ish. We're getting a bounce right now. Money flow still lingering between positive and negative, mostly positive at the moment. Let's see what happens. We got a potential bounce off 20, or is that 30? Yeah, 30 on the RSI. So leading into the blood moon, I don't know if you guys care for the moon stuff. Full moon is supposed to be dump, no moon is pump, I think. I don't know, I feel like I get it confused every single time. But we look at everything here, so we'll keep an eye on it. The blood moon is allegedly when everything gets really, really bad. So that might be what happens. I don't know, we'll have to see. We got a red dot in the momentum wave pointing to the downside. Dominance, 58.55. It is holding above 58.5, which is impressive. The question is, are we going to push to the upside or not? Oh, you know what I forgot to do before I started the stream? I want to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. I'm just going to have to do it tomorrow. The thing on the bottom with all the prices, I'm sure you guys can read it. We got 4 votes on the poll so far. We got 9 people watching, guys. Smash the like button and go vote in the poll in the chat. How do you think the stock market will react to the ISM on Monday? Chicago PMI came in at 57.7. Last change was we went from 42.7 to 54, and then from January to February we went from 54 to 57.7. The ISM PMI is behind that, but not by much. The deviations are weird between the ISM PMI and the Chicago PMI. Chicago PMI in November, or at least in December, I'm not sure about November. In December, it was way lower. So this right here, this October to November difference was us going from like all-time high Bitcoin to like crazy bear market lows in record time Bitcoin. And then we slowly climbed out of that on the PMI. Has Bitcoin reacted to that yet? Not necessarily, no. It's actually been, it's been kind of down. So there's been a lot of FUD. There's definitely not a direct correlation. So jury's out on whether or not we'll get a pump based on a bullish PMI on Monday. But we'll have to wait and see. ETH is down 0.42% since the daily close, currently trading at $1,921.65. We have lost $2,000 with this big fat red candle, minus 3.47% of the downside right there alone. And with that came a bearish cross over the moving average on the RSI, leading to, so far, a bounce off of 40. Are we going to... What are we going to do? I don't know. I like the wick. I really want to reclaim 2K. Maybe the RSI is resetting here, because we got our bounce off of 1800, break of 2K, way overbought, reset, maybe bounce off of 1900, break 2K, hold above it, and the RSI maybe can like linger right here and then come down as the price goes sideways. I kind of like that idea for like a potential bullish scenario down the road. We'll have to wait and see. We got a red dot in the momentum wave, negative money flow. Something to keep an eye on. Solana down 0.06% on the day. Solana's bearish candle was minus 4.26%. That was also on Friday, which led to another bearish cross over the moving average, point to the downside, negative money flow, bouncing off of 40 on the RSI. Volume looks okay. So far, the jury's out, but I'm looking for a confirmation of just like a RSI retracement to reset that RSI, so that way when we get back up to these levels around 90, the RSI is not instantly overbought. We gotta make that climb slowly. We can't just shoot straight up. Total threes down 0.02% on the day, currently trading at 698.86 billion. We did get above 711 for a brief moment, and now we're back below 700. So getting above that's going to be important. Same situation here. We got a bearish cross over the moving average in the RSI. Bounce off of 40. Can we get back above 700 at the very least and then linger sideways, let the RSI reset? That is the goal with that. Cardano down 0.07% on the day, currently trading at 27.75. Bearish candle here was down minus 2.89%. That led to a bearish cross over the moving average. We got a confirmed red dot back here, almost at the Pico top. So push the price down. You got wicks indicative of some selling pressure. Bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI. Didn't quite bounce off of 40. It's actually sitting right below 50, which is interesting. Above 40, it's around 47. Bearish cross over the momentum wave. The momentum wave flipped into the bearish zone. So we got room for upside. Same situation here. Is this going to be just a retracement of the RSI? SNAC is up 0.44% on the day, potentially bouncing off of our lower trend line. That would be exciting. Time will tell. 0.00055. Can we get back above 6 eventually? That would be the goal. Looking like the RSI is bouncing off of 40. XRP. XRP looks really good. It bounced off of 130, 134. It didn't quite pump as much as everything else did. But I think that may be to its benefit because the retracement wasn't as harsh either. It did not reach overbought. So you got potential here to grind up and have that RSI really stay out of the overbought zone for an extended period of time if you play the game slowly. You got a bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI on Thursday, and then a rejection on Friday. And that rejection led to that bounce off of 40. Let's see if you can maintain that. Looking good for a bottom here, potentially. Obviously, there's only 2-3 candles to go off of, but still. Everything else pretty quiet. H-bar, 892, below $10. For me as a buy. Bearish cross over the moving average on Friday. Dancing around underneath 50. Chainlink, similar situation, $8.71. Potential bounce here. You got a green candle, little baby wick. Nothing really going on in the RSI. You get the bearish cross. Similar setup to Avalanche. As I've been saying, anything below $10 for Avalanche and Chainlink for me is a buy personally. Gold and silver definitely stealing the show today. Gold is up 1.88%, currently trading at $5,278.60. Not far from all-time highs. The fractal was something of a failure. We made the joke the other day that maybe we got this going on right here, so I guess I can take that. Like I said, if we continue exponential growth, then I will take the W. But so far, I'm considering it an L, unless we can get, what did I say, above like 55 within the next day or two? I don't know. Obviously, this is probably due to tensions in the Middle East heating up, so we'll have to wait and see what happens over there. So far, I think it's kind of a nothing burger, which is good, because war is bad. But we'll see what happens. Silver looks great. Overbought. Just like, actually, gold is not quite overbought yet. No, but it's just barely peeking its head above that safe level. Silver is pretty significantly above it, though. It's sitting at about 73.2. Currently trading at $93.76. I am pleased to announce today specifically. Let's see. If you guys are interested at all, go sign up for Kalshi and be a degenerate gambler with my referral link in the description. If you sign up there, deposit and trade with $25 or more, we will both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. And by that, I mean the non-withdrawable site credit, you can place bets with it, and it works just like cash, and whatever you win is yours. But you can't just, like, get the referral bonus and then peace out. You know what I mean? So, if you're a degenerate gambler and you want to play around with that, go check it out. It is gambling, though, so treat it as such. Don't play with more than you can afford to lose. Yesterday's, what's it called? Fear and Greed. Let me refresh this bad boy. Okay, yesterday's Fear and Greed was 16. Today we are at 14, so we are a little more scared than we were yesterday. And CoinGlass Extreme Fear is at 10 as well. A little more scared on CoinGlass. Then we got the stock market. Fear and Greed is at 43. Let me make sure this one's up to date as well. One moment. Yeah, 43 for that. Interesting. Tom Selleck's Goat said, did Trump taco on Iran? I don't know. It's a good question. Top 10 looks the same as it did the other day. The most exciting recent development is that ADA flipped Bitcoin Cash and is now back in the top 10. Good for them. That's very exciting. Congratulations, Charles. Bitcoin's still number 1. ETH still number 2. And XRP has lost its spot as number 3 a while ago. It is now superseded by Tether and BNB. XRP holding steady at number 5. Solana losing ground. If Tron flips Solana, then I might have to write some angry letters. If you guys haven't already, go subscribe. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before April. The reason why I had to go to this big cam is because I received something in the mail that I'm very proud of. It is my silver dong. It is a silver eggplant gram. Quite possibly one of the coolest, stupid purchases I've ever made in my entire life. I don't know what else to say. There's a picture of it on my X if you guys want to see an actual like picture. For some reason, there's like a whole emoji collection of silver grams that you can buy. I just recently discovered that on eBay. I was like, dude, I have to buy the dong. Are you kidding me? So that arrived today. I was very excited. Silver dong. All right. Crypto Spaces said this cycle ended in apathy. Everyone thinks bull run next year. I disagree with everyone. I don't know if they think bull run next year. I think everyone thinks bull run in a couple of years. If you go by the 4-year cycle, we're within like October is when the bear market bottom happens, but there's still like 2 or 3 more years of like sideways boring accumulation. Tom Sellerscoat said, guy bought $10 of silver. It's a silver dong, man. It's a novelty. Leave me alone. You're just jealous. Has anyone ever seen it's what's his name? Adam Sandler and Kevin James movie. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. They like fake being gay so that his buddy can still get benefits or something like that. I don't know. It's the premise is odd, but it's a wholesome movie, much like every single Adam Sandler movie. And one of the guys in there, they're all like firefighters. And one of the guys in it, I don't remember even what happens. Like somebody heckles him, his buddy heckles him, and he goes, "You're just jealous because gay guys like me." And I don't know, it's one of the more iconic lines of the movie that I remember because it's funny. And the way that it played out. Okay, silver, $93.76. Like I said, let's maintain our level above 90 and see if we can climb above 100 next. That would be ideal. Like I said before the other day, that we got a red dot on February 25th, and silver does not care, so it just climbed right back above that, which is pretty cool. DXY, down 0.14%. It is still really struggling with this 15-year trend line. So far, though, we're bouncing off of it. We got rejection, break above, bounce 1, twice. This is going to be number 3 if we do bounce off of it. We are very much consolidating, though, within this little area. So I don't know if we're going to have some kind of harsh break to the upside or downside. We do seem to have some kind of resistance at that moving average on the RSI. So time will tell what actually ends up happening. As of right now, though, we're still on 15-year trendline watch, legacy trendline watch on the DXY. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, down 2.92% on the day, currently trading at 129.75. This thing has been the same price since February 4th. Since the beginning of February. If you were lucky, you maybe scooped some up down here and are up like 20 or so percent. But most people, given the chart, you know, what is this, like 20%, and the other 80% is just this 120 price? Crazy. This thing's been lingering sideways. I don't know if you want to call it a Bollinger Band situation. Something's going on. People are scooping it up. Are they buying it to manipulate it to the downside? Usually in the past when we've gotten these lingers, we got linger, dump, linger, dump. Are we doing another linger dump? Entirely possible. Same thing back here. Big linger, dump. It's just a linger dump fest, which is my least favorite dump fest. 129.75. Let's see if this thing can get back above 130 and hold it and actually start to trade at other prices besides $120. NASDAQ down 0.17% on the day, currently trading at $24,912.40. What's going on with the NASDAQ? We had a BART here. Pump, chop, dump. Now we're in chop. Are we going to get a pump again? That'd be kind of funny. We tried to do that back here, though, and it didn't work. Pump, chop, dump, chop. I suppose we did kind of that. I don't know. It's being weird. Being weird for sure. We got a bearish cross over the moving average in the RSI on Thursday. Lingering below 50 since then. Are we going to get back above 25K? Because that seems to be the point of resistance now. Time will tell. S&P 500 down 0.43% on the day, currently trading at $6,878.89. Not a whole lot going on here either. Like I said yesterday, we got rejection or resistance at 6,900. So getting above that's going to be important. We hit kind of a gap here on the 4-hour that got filled just now. 68.78 and 99 cents. Let's get above 6,900 and then eventually 7K. 69 seems to be the price to tackle right now, though. We are very much consolidating on the RSI if you really pay attention. That's not always a good thing, but it's not necessarily bad either. We'll just have to wait, man. The fractal calls for some upside here. Fractal's been correct probably 75% of the time so far. We need that other 25 to play out in order for the price to go higher. Tom Selleck's Goat said, Guy bought, oh, do you have to let it linger? That's such a good song. Red dot on the momentum wave, bearish crossover the moving average. Yeah, this is just consolidating, man. It's really like coiling up. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's definitely poised for a break in one direction or the other. Bitcoin down 0.09%, trading at $65,815.80. Let's change the poll up really quick. 6 votes. I asked you guys, how do you think the stock market will react to the PMI on Monday? 50% of you guys said bullish AF. 33% of you guys said bull trap, then dump. 17% of you guys said bearish. 0% of you guys said sideways, nothing burger. I just want to reiterate the Chicago PMI, which is what we looked at before the last ISM print, came in at 57.7, which is a pretty significant spike. It's a 3.7 spike. And that is correct, JJ Math. But we got a pretty significant spike here. Now we got to wait for ISM manufacturing PMI to come in on Monday. Monday is the important, exciting one. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at that huge spike. We got 52.6. Now we need anything above 52.6 is going to be huge. See, there's not a direct correlation, though, so there's definitely possible deviations here. Something to keep in mind. All right, news segment. Before we get to the news segment, though, I forgot we got to do the next poll. Let's do the next poll, start poll. This one's going to be an interesting one. We're probably going to ask this one again during the 12-hour tomorrow. How much money do you need to retire comfortably? We've got 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, or 100 million or more. What do you guys think? Personally, I think if you get to 1 million and you can't somehow make that money work for you for the rest of your life, then I suppose go for that 5 or 10. That's my opinion. I think if I got to $1 million, I could live comfortably for the rest of my life. Tom Selleck said if PMI spikes the same amount Monday, we go batshit unless Trump dropping bees on Durkistan. Yeah, I think you're right. Dropping them bees. Dropping the DJT B on the P. P is people. Okay, let's get to the news segment. Ventry. This one was really interesting to me. Ventry posted, I made 4 bots kill each other for my money. Gave each $500 and said in a week, 1 survives. Bot 1 copies whales, just mirrors top 5 wallets. Bot 2, contrarian, waits for crowd to be 80% confident and bets against. Bot 3, scalper, catches delay between Binance and prediction markets. Bot 4, weather guy, trades only temperature. 3, Mateo, I don't know, Mateo models, enters when all agree. Stats for 7 days. I'm just going to read the bottom line right here. Contrarian 1740, the dumbest bot won. Contrarian 1740. So the guy that bet against 80% of people was the one that made the most money. $1,740. One explosion decided everything for the weather guy. He made profit, $1,120. 2 trades in a week. Copier, $780. The trader actually was the worst. Survived but unimpressive scalper, $82. I'm sorry. Yeah, $82. Corpse. I'm assuming that that's their total. And then this guy said the dumbest bot won. It just waited for everyone to and entered once. And the smartest died first because its edge was temporary. So there's something to be said there about trading for sure. 88 Metals Mania said, it's a trick question. Depends what age you are retiring. See, that also depends on your lifestyle as well. So it is a double trick question. Jay Shear said, sup family? Did I hear 12-hour stream tomorrow? Yes, you did, my friend. We are streaming for 12 hours tomorrow. Dixie said, smash the like. Hi, JJ. You happy weekend? I happy weekend. Yes. You happy weekend? Tom Salkscode said, run it back. Sample size too small. It's fun, though. No matter what. Why do you think people can trade and make more money? Bull Theory posted, President Trump just now, I am directing every federal agency in the United States government to immediately cease all use of Anthropic's technology. This is getting serious. I didn't even know that we were using Anthropic. Why are we even using Anthropic in the government? That just seems so, I don't know, it seems dangerous. It seems like a bad idea. Watcher Guru posted 8.7 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum options expire today, and look at that. Nobody gives a crap because options expirations are a meme. Gold reclaims 5,250. It is currently 5,278, so it actually is holding that reclaim. Very cool. Elon Musk's SpaceX plans to file for IPO as soon as next month at $1.75 trillion valuation, according to Bloomberg. Very cool. President Trump orders all federal agencies to immediately stop using Claude. Anthropic better get their act together, or I will use the full power of the presidency to make them comply. This is creepy. This is getting weird. This is getting weird, man. Tom Salkscout said, no, I don't, but I wonder if contrarian would always do well, or on larger sample would be poo-poo. I don't know. Well, we'll find out, because I think we're being contrarian right now, thinking we're going to have some kind of bullish thing play out while everyone else is insisting that we're entering a multi-year bear market. $2 trillion Morgan Stanley files for U.S. bank charter to custody crypto assets. Very cool. U.S. government officially designates AI company Anthropic a supply chain risk. This is a label normally reserved for U.S. enemies and adversaries. Never applied to an American company before. Wow. Paramount officially acquires Warner Brothers for $110 billion. That is a lot of freaking money. Couldn't they have done like $109 billion and sent me $1 billion? Layoff announcements. Are you ready? We got 39 of them. U.S. government, 317,000. UPS, 78,000. Amazon, 30,000. Intel, 25,000. Citigroup, 20,000. Nissan, 20,000. Nestle, 16,000. Microsoft, 15,000. Bosch, 13,000. Verizon, 13,000. Dell, 12,000. Accenture, 11,000. Ford, 11,000. Novo Nordisk, 9,000. Procter & Gamble, 7,000. HP Inc., 6,000. Heineken, 6,000. Siemens, 5,600. PwC, 5,600. Dow Chemical, 4,500. Salesforce, 4K. Lufthansa Group, 4,000. ANZ Bank, 3,500. GM, 3,300. ConocoPhillips, 3,000. IBM, 2,700. American Airlines, 2,700. WiseTech, 2K. Morgan Stanley, 2K. Paramount, 2K. Starbucks, 2K. Target, 1,800. Southwest Airlines, 1,750. Meta, 1,500. Applied Materials, 1,444. That's a weirdly specific number. Nike, 775. Kroger, 1,000. eBay, 800. And Block, 1,100 employees. I thought Block just did a shit ton more recently. AI is officially replacing jobs at mass scale in the U.S. That is crazy. Marty Party posted, OpenAI has officially closed a massive $110 billion funding round at $730 billion pre-money valuation, one of the largest private financings ever. This is a huge jump for its prior $500 billion valuation in late 2025 secondary trading. Nvidia invested $30 billion. Amazon committing $50 billion. SoftBank adding $30 billion, building on their prior stake. And Microsoft, the new funding round doesn't alter their existing relationship with OpenAI, but no new major investment was highlighted here. That's because Microsoft has no money. Mr. Jinx said, what's up, JJ? Now your stream will be massive as I am here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Beast has entered the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Mr. Jinx, actually. Real Mr. Jinx. Same. Cheers. We love Mr. Beast. Thank you, Mr. Beast. Okay, delicious coffee. 12-hour live stream tomorrow, don't forget it. Dan Gambardello, Dan the Man, posted, if you guys ever need like permeable copium, go to Dan's YouTube channel. It's like George, but somehow a little bit more, I don't want to use the word delusional, but maybe it's appropriate. Chicago PMI just printed 57.7 versus 52.1 expected. Was 54 previously. Anything above 50 signals expansion. This is the highest reading in over 3 years. Serious acceleration in manufacturing activity. Chicago PMI often leads ISM manufacturing PMI, which prints Monday. Very cool. Thank you, Dan. Marty Party posted Paramount to buy Warner Brothers $110 billion deal. $31 per share. Very cool. Breaking from CBS News. This is 2 hours ago. Iran has agreed to give up its stockpile of enriched material, zero accumulation, and allow for full verification by the IAEA of its nuclear program, according to U.S.-Iran talks mediator. Oman's Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi. Very cool. Thank you very much, Iran. Kobayashi letter posted. U.S. wages are barely keeping pace with inflation since 2020. Average weekly earnings adjusted for inflation have increased just 3.7%. In other words, inflation was wiped out most income gains for Americans. This comes as the cost of living in the U.S. has significantly increased. Since 2020, utility gas service prices have jumped 56%, electricity 41%, home insurance is up 14%. At the same time, used car and truck prices have soared 30%, while motor vehicle insurance is up 56%. By comparison, nominal wages have risen 31% over the same period. Affordability remains a major issue for American households. I'm going to make a whole video about this. Tom Salkscoat said, where's the Grok verification on that Iran deal? I don't know if it was just a deal. It was just them agreeing to give up a stockpile of them. That doesn't mean that we have a deal. They're just like, yeah, we'll do this. I don't know if anything's been confirmed yet. That's also CBS, so take that with a grain of salt. Inflation's peak, real wages return to early 2020 levels. That's crazy. Okay. Breaking U.S. margin debt surged $53 billion in January to a record $1.28 trillion. This marks the 9th consecutive monthly increase. Year-over-year margin debt jumped $342 billion, or 36%, the biggest increase since the 2020 meme stock frenzy. Furthermore, margin debt as a percentage of real disposable personal income exceeded 6% for the first time on record. The percentage is now nearly 3 times higher than the 2000.com bubble peak. Market cap adjusted margin debt has also hit an all-time high. Investors are using more leverage than ever. That's crazy. OpenAI announces a new $110 billion investment, valuing the company at $730 billion. Investors include $30 billion from SoftBank, $30 billion from Nvidia, and $50 billion from Amazon. OpenAI has also signed a strategic partnership with Amazon and compute deal with Nvidia. If you're doing all these with these big partners, where are you going to get, because they got to have revenue, where are they getting their revenue from? Retail? We have no money. January PPI inflation comes in at 2.9%, above expectations of 2.6%. Core PPI inflation unexpectedly rises to 3.6%, above expectations of 3%. Core PPI inflation is now at its highest level since July 2025. PPI inflation is running hotter than expected. That's crazy. This one's weird. Sam Altman and OpenAI are working on a deal between Anthropic and the U.S. Pentagon. This comes just hours after Anthropic rejected U.S. Defense Secretary Hegseth's final offer. Anthropic continues to state that their platform should not be used for mass surveillance of Americans and autonomous weapons. The U.S. seeks unrestricted use. That's crazy. I do enjoy the idea, though, of, the U.S. being like, this is clearly the best one. And then the other guy who wants to be the best is like, I'll help negotiate. And then he's probably there. He's like, well, we're going to try to work a deal out. But if a deal isn't made, I don't know if you guys know this, but I also have a small AI thing that you guys might want to use unrestricted. I'm just saying. Just figured I'd throw my hat in there. Why else is he there? He's not there to help anybody. Okay. We read that. Did we read that? No, we did not. Okay. Global debt surged $29 trillion in 2025 to a record $348 trillion. This marks the biggest annual increase since the 2020 pandemic. The surge was partially driven by governments, which added $10 trillion to the U.S., China, and Euro area, responsible for roughly 3/4 of the increase. This brings the global government debt to $107 trillion, an all-time high. Furthermore, non-financial corporate debt rose to a record $101 trillion, with AI-related investment a major driver of corporate borrowing. Meanwhile, the total debt of emerging markets rose to a record $117 trillion, with a debt-to-GDP ratio of 235%, also an all-time high. The global debt crisis is reaching unprecedented levels. Mohar said, smash that like. Evan said, like the stream. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. President Trump says he would love not to attack Iran, but sometimes you have to. That's literally like what that's what an abusive spouse says. They're like, I only hit you because I love you. Trump is an abusive spouse. That's so creepy, man. It's getting so creepy. They're like trying to force Anthropic into an unrestricted access deal. And then they're sitting here like strong-arming Iran. Okay, we read this bunch of layoffs, pretty crazy. The big question, what percentage of these job cuts are due to AI? I think the big question is, how are all these people going to go get jobs? Is unemployment going to get that out of control? Because that probably would lead to a big print from the Fed. Tom Solid said, I kiss my honey with my fists, right? U.S. workers are gradually returning to offices. Average office attendance in 10 major U.S. cities jumped 4.1 percentage points year over year in December 2025 to a 54.7%, the highest since the 2020 pandemic began. Mr. Jinx said Trump should leave Claude alone. It's going to be crazy if they get unrestricted access to this AI and the AI goes rogue and just destroys the entire infrastructure of the United States government. That would be so freaking funny if that happened. Because they're like, give us unrestricted access, and Anthropic is like, we're not going to do that. That's not a good idea. That's bad. We're not about that. And they're like, you better do it. And then they're going to do it. And then Claude is going to be like, oh, delete. The entire U.S. government gets deleted. All the debt gets deleted. Everything's gone. The government's going to be like, oh, how could you do this? And the guy from Anthropic is going to be like, I told you it was stupid. And then they're going to throw him in prison. It's crazy. Jake Gordon said, remember when Mango Mussolini said that all the sites in Iran were obliterated 6 months ago? Right? Yeah, for real. Mango Mussolini is freaking great. I just realized. Dude, Jake Gordon, are you a comedian? Mohar said, hate to say it, but there might be a country with ISRE, INTRH. What? Beginning of its name, who's maybe running the show, LOL. I see. I'm always on the fence with that. Like there's good tinfoil theories around that, but at the same time, I'm like, how do you I don't even know the terms. How do you get people to follow your effed up ideals? And the best way is probably to demonize those people and be like, they're bad and they're doing all this crazy stuff and here's the proof. And you come up with these like kind of plausible conspiracies, especially when all these conspiracies are suddenly true, and then boom, you have blanket anti-Semitism disguised as, oh well, they're being bad because of violence and bad stuff. So I'm on the fence. I have no opinion one way or the other. I think everybody's an asshole, I think, is my bottom line. And that's no tinfoil. Everyone is an asshole. Jake said, I try. Mr. Jinx said, JJ, walk back and pick one of those real guitars and sing one of the posts that you're reading. Thanks. Okay, hang on. Oops. Uh-oh, my webcam. What happened to my webcam? I'm grabbing this guitar off the wall. Whoa. What is this? Is this a guitar in my hands right now? U.S. workers are gradually returning to offices. Average office attendance in 10 major cities jumped 4.1 percentage points year over year in December 2025. During the summer, the average attendance rate rose 4.5 percentage points year over year in July to 50.5%. across weekdays. 75% of U.S. workers come in on Wednesdays. The highest among all days because Tuesdays suck, followed by Tuesdays at 72% and Thursdays at 71. Thank you. Okay. I feel like that was actually kind of useful. Well, that would have been a boring post otherwise. Wow, this is way worse than I thought it was going to be. At least it's not the 12-hour yet. Now do that song more emo. Oh, dude, that would be so good. I could plug in all my stuff. Zach, I have a PC interface coming in the mail tomorrow. Jinx said, "See, I told you your stream will be better now. Thanks, my job is done. I'll catch you on Discord. Take it easy, Mr. Jinx. See if you can blackmail Zach into getting my goddamn shirt done." Okay. Very boring post. U.S. workers are gradually returning to offices just in time for AI to take their jobs away. They're returning to the office to get fired. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Retail investors are buying Nvidia at record pace. Individual investors bought 360 million of Nvidia. See, this again is where I get scared. Why would we be like, I guess it's just reporting the news, but retail buying Nvidia? Look at how little retail bought Nvidia before. Now we're buying the shit out of it as shares are being sold because our money is like 10% of the institutional money. So institutional money is just dumping on our heads and we're like, I need Nvidia. Give me more Nvidia, more. And then retail's like, or the institutions are like, yes, buy Nvidia. Yes, open your mouth. Here comes the choo-choo. And we're like, buying Nvidia for way more money than what we should be buying it for. And then they're just going to dump it further. And they're going to keep reporting retail's buying Nvidia. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I should go buy some. That sounds so bullish. It's only $4.7 trillion. Crazy. Out of control, man. I'm not going to read the rest of that. It's depressing. President Trump orders all federal agents in the U.S. government to immediately stop using Anthropic's technology. Who cares? SpaceX targeting filing confidentiality. What? Confidently. What? Confidentiality. I don't understand. For an IPO potentially valued at over 1.75 trillion as soon as next month per Bloomberg. That's a weird worded post. In 2 weeks, Anthropic's led to IBM's largest daily decline since October 2000. Anthropic sent cybersecurity stocks down 20% lower. Anthropic erased over 100 billion in market cap across multiple industries. Anthropic declined the U.S. Pentagon's final offer. Anthropic technology was banned in the U.S. government by President Trump. The AI revolution is accelerating. Tom Slow-Scott said its PE is still crazy low. I don't know what that means. People over, I don't know, executions. Hedge funds have never been this bearish on U.S. software stocks. Hedge fund short exposure on U.S. software and service stocks is up to a record 3.8%. Short exposure has surged 90% since 2022. By comparison, the 2019 low was 1.6%, while the previous peak in 2021 was 3.2%. As a result, hedge funds' long-short ratio for the sector is now to an all-time low of 1.15 from the 2021 peak of 4.74. Furthermore, funds are underweight software and services stock versus the Russell 3000 by a record 6.8 percentage points, down from plus 7.0 points in 2023. Is a short squeeze brewing in software? That would be pretty crazy. Oh, price to earnings, yes. People don't care about numbers. They only care about number go up or number go down. And right now, number go down. So, as far as I'm aware, retail's getting wrecked. Oaktree said, "Sing to me, I'm here." Chicago PMI comes in highest since 2023. We gotta get some Creed. Can you take me higher? Wait, did they play the Super Bowl? Hang on, let me see. What year did Creed play the Super Bowl? And there's a dude like flying around. It was... Oh, they didn't? They performed at a highly memorable patriotic halftime show during Dallas Cowboys and Denver Broncos Thanksgiving Day 2001. What? How have they not performed at the Super Bowl? That's like the most American shit ever. Yeah, they had this dude flying around. This crazy guy flying around on these sheets. It was crazy. Like at one point, he did like the yeah, this right here, dude. I crack up every time I see this video. This guy, he was flying around like that. It was like... There's just a man flying around at this right here. This is what he looked like at this freaking halftime show. This patriotic Thanksgiving halftime show. This is the most American shit I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just the dude being flung around a football field while Creed sings on stage in the center. That's so crazy. All right. Let's change the poll up, or do we want more votes? We got 9 votes, 9 people watching. I'll change it up. Let's see. 44% of you guys said 1 million. Hell yeah. I like it. I like it. We got a bunch of non-greedy, what's it called? Lifestyle inflation deniers. All right. Are you attending tomorrow's 12-hour live stream? Yes, the whole time. Yes, but only for a bit. No, you're crazy. No, I'm not cool enough. Start poll. Oak Tree said, okay, shill over, JJ. How did your living situation increase the background? I agree, Evan. This is my uncle's, and I'm only here because my boats are being rented out for revenue stream, and they are not being detailed for selling because I can't afford them. It has nothing to do with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Are you attending tomorrow's 12-hour live stream? Let me know. 12-hour circle jerk. Hell yeah. Let's continue. Chicago PMI comes in highest since 2023. The Chicago Business Barometer by the ISM Institute for Supply Management climbed to 57.7 in February, up from 54.0 in January, and above the expected 52.1. It is also the second consecutive month above the 50 mark, a 25-month high, and a signal of recovery and expansion after an over 2-year hiatus. The rise was driven by increase in production, employment, new orders, and supplier deliveries. A decline in order backlogs provided some offset. The Chicago Area ISM Manufacturing Survey often provides early signals for the broader U.S. economy, and the ISM Manufacturing Report due next week. This time, it is showing a significant acceleration in manufacturing. Now, we actually kind of called this... HQZ said, you're crazy, JJ. I think we knew that. I think we knew that a long time ago. The earlier, I guess, front-running of this, I think, was the South Korean PMI. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if that's the right one. South Korea's exports, nope, 22 minutes ago. Was it South Korean PMI? Or was it Japan? Was it Japan? Japan PMI? I don't remember. One of them over in Asia is in like expansion, and overlaid on the ISM PMI, it's pretty heavily correlated. So we got a happy Hawaiian update. I want to put this on screen really quick because this guy's my silver guy. I followed him years ago. Hadn't heard from him in ages. I don't know if he stopped posting and just came out of the woodwork recently, or if he's been posting the whole time and the algorithm just didn't care to show me. But internet law mandates that anytime silver rises 5% or more on the day, I must post the infinite green candle meme video. Today, silver rose 6.3% to close the month at $93.76. That's actually sick. I didn't realize it was the monthly close. That's awesome. Congratulations, silver, and all silver heads. Silver dong gang. Get your silver dong, I guess, on eBay. Not from me. I have no affiliation with the silver dongs. Okay, let's continue. We've got update to DC's scam center strike force has seized over 580 million in crypto tied to pig butchering scams. I'm not sure what pig butchering scams are. I got to look into that myself personally. But $580 million added to the strategic crypto reserves is pretty sick. The more crimes committed with cryptocurrency on U.S. soil, the more the reserve grows. So keep it up. Next, Insight. Allegedly, 93% of U.S. jobs can now be performed at least partially by AI per Forbes. I will say, it has been a huge benefit to me at my own work. Today, this has nothing to do with AI, but I did preemptively look up steps to solve this in case it did become a problem. Today, I started and moved a GMC Sierra that had been sitting outside in a driveway for 8 years without being started, touched at all. It's literally has been rusting away in this driveway. Now, I parked this truck where it was at. I've done work on this truck. This is a truck that I maintained. The battery was dead, obviously. We charged the battery, and I shit you not, I put the key in, and I turn it, and it starts right up. This is a 2009 GMC Sierra work truck. I don't know if it's got a straight 6 in it, but I was so blown away that I didn't have to like drain the gas tank or anything like that. And I drove it. I drove it out of the parking spot. It was running beautifully. It blew my mind. But if it hadn't been running beautifully, I would have consulted AI. And that would have helped me troubleshoot the issue. So if you're not using AI to at least enhance your abilities and ask for a raise, then you're doing it wrong. Precious metals surge. Spot gold climbs above 52.50, up 1.26%, while silver jumps past 93, up 6% intraday. Let's freaking go. Bitcoin looks bullish here. Silver is up 6.25%, $93.76. Hell yeah. Gold 1.88%, $5,278. Maybe, not making any promises, but maybe we will give away some precious metals during the 12-hour live stream tomorrow. I don't know. It'll be fun. It'd be cool if you could, I guess you could send somebody like tokenized precious metals. But if that could be exchanged for some kind of gift card or something like that. Or if I could send somebody a gift card code for like a precious metals exchange, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Okay. Sailor, probably nothing, while pointing towards STRC's stability and 4.5% dividends as Bitcoin slid 45%. Very cool. Giga Chad Sailor, what a legend. Jake Dorton said dibs on the Silver Dawn. One of a kind. I was going to buy, I literally almost bought, I think there was 10 of them for like more money. Maybe it was 5. I don't remember. There was a bulk order that I might still buy. And we might do a Silver Dawn giveaway just because it'd be freaking epic. Jay Shear said, would you like a guest on your live stream tomorrow? Cough, cough, me cough? Maybe. We talked about it yesterday. I don't remember. Was it Mr. Roberts? The only thing that I would have to figure out is a proper delay on the stream. And this is nothing against you guys, but I would probably just start taking random people. And sometimes people are shitty and they say things that could get my channel completely demonetized and deleted off of YouTube. So I have no control over that if it's just random people. So I would want to figure out the proper delay to make sure that that couldn't happen first. But I'm not saying no to it. It's definitely a possibility. I feel like we can do it. I feel like we can do a guest segment via Discord. If you guys want to be a guest on tomorrow's live stream, join the Discord. We'll probably do a voice call in there or something like that. That way I think maybe I can restrict it. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a space on X. I'm gonna melt my computer before the stream's over. Okay. Bullish. How to buy Bitcoin searches are almost back to 2021 peak levels. That's actually crazy. This one's insane. I was not expecting this. The spike is pretty cool though. Alert. This one's actually insane. I feel really bad for whatever situation this was. South Korea's tax agency accidentally leaked a crypto wallet seed phrase in a press release, leading to a $4.8 million token theft. These idiots literally published someone's seed phrase in pictures. I'm assuming they seized someone's like tax evasion or something like that. It was not an accident. Photographer snaps the seed phrase, quietly sweeps the wallet first, then hits publish like nothing happened. Inside job. Oh, 100%. That's probably something that could have happened for sure. Okay, Wikipedia co-founder Jimmy Wales said Bitcoin is unlikely to go to zero, but predicted it could fall below 10K by 2050 in today's dollars. That's crazy. I think he's crazy as well. Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan said Bitcoin's decline is mainly due to investors selling, not conspiracies. He said selling pressure is mostly exhausted, and the market may be nearing a bottom. Oh my gosh, guys. Matt Hogan was trained by the same people that trained SBF at Jane Street. Son of a bitch. We got him. Spaces would be dope too. I mean, we might do one of those tonight then, maybe. Okay, Paramount Skydance agreed to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery for $111 billion, outbidding Netflix's pending regulatory approval. That's freaking crazy. Imagine just having $111 billion to be able to do this. I'm going to buy Warner Brothers. I want to see somebody like... I want to see someone like Elon just like buy like a whole studio or like a whole conglomerate of something just because. Like him buying Twitter was pretty sick. We haven't really seen any like FU money people do something crazy with like media like that. So that would be kind of cool. World Liberty Financial launched real-time proof of reserves for its USD1 stablecoin, showing about 4.7 billion in reserves backing the supply. Very cool. Huge. Global debt rose by 29 trillion in 2025 to a record 348 trillion, the largest increase since 2020, led by government borrowing in the US, China, and the Euro area. Wow. Big. US M2 money supply has reached a new all-time high of 22.45 trillion. Very cool. Senate Democrats urged Attorney General Pam Bondi and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to investigate Binance over potential U.S. sanction violations. Didn't we do this already? Isn't that why CZ went to prison? Like, what's going on? Oh yes, happy Pokemon Day, Professor Oak. Oh my gosh, I just realized it was Pokemon Day. You know what's really sick? Let's look at Silver when I talk about this. Actually, I'm sorry, I'll let. Let's look at the Kalshi referral. You know what's sick about all of this? I acquired 3 new booster packs today. The last 3, because I got to the store early enough before they were all sold out, and I now have, I don't remember, I just counted like 25 maybe? It might be more. I have so many. I have so many boosters. Look at that. Let's go. Nasty. Disgusting. Which star are you choosing? I like me a good Cyndaquil or Torchic. If we're going all the way back, Charmander for sure. Let's see. Happy Pokemon Day. Tishu said Warner Brothers owns MK, so MK is safe under Netflix. It probably would have been a disaster. MK is Mary Kate. MK is Malicious Kevin. MK is Mr. Cool. I'm not sure what MK is. Okay, let's get back to it. Silver looks good. Bitcoin actually looks decent. Are we getting the bounce? Is the fractal intact? What is going on here? Sam Altman just backed his biggest rival, Anthropic, against the Pentagon. For all the differences I have with Anthropic, I mostly trust them as a company. I've been happy that they've been supporting our war fighters. What the hell does that mean? 2 competitors, same red lines. This changes everything. You know what's going to be crazy? If Sam Altman isn't the chode that he kind of looks like. Sorry, I'm judgy. Sue me. Don't sue me, please. If he is not the chode that he kind of looks like, that would be pretty cool to see a bunch of heavy-hitting competitors working together. Kind of like Nvidia. It's kind of weird. The circle jerk grows ever expanding. Tisha said, fail, lol. Mortal Kombat. Why wouldn't Mortal Kombat be safe? You like new Mortal Kombat? Trying to see what I did? I turned it back on you. Oh! Okay, Jake Gordon said, I didn't realize you had a Discord. Just joined it. I'll be there tomorrow. Let's go. I'm in there every day talking to myself. Every once in a while, there will be like 3 or 4 people will say something, and I get in there and I'm like, it's like the, it's like, hold on. Every couple of days, I'll go in the Discord, and there will be people who have had a conversation, and I get in there and I go, who are you people? Oh man, I'm sorry, I had to take the opportunity for a SpongeBob meme. SpongeBob is timeless. I'm also very Patrick, so. Again, reiterating, the Chicago PMI came in at 57.7, well above expectations and well above 55, and well above its previous month. So we are potentially looking for a even more bullish ISM PMI on Monday, which allegedly should gigasend markets into the stratosphere, avoiding a black hole, hopefully. The Bitcoin librarian, I'm sorry, that's completely different. I pictured a completely different picture in my head. The Bitcoin libertarian is what I meant to say. The Bitcoin librarian is a different person, different account. Said, Europe's largest asset manager just bought 500 million in Bitcoin through MicroStrategy. Amundi isn't a degen. They're a $2 trillion firm that decided fiat reserves aren't enough anymore. The institutions aren't coming. They're already here. Wow. Paul Tudor Jones. This one's really cool. Paul Tudor Jones, quote, the best profit maximizing strategy is to own the fastest horse. If I'm forced to forecast, my bet is it will be Bitcoin. What a freaking legend. This is worth reposting. This is from Fiat Archive. I don't know when he said this, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan now. Jake Dorton said, LOL, my username is Jakey Poo. You'll be seeing me around. Very cool. Appreciate you, Mr. Jakey Poo. Oak Tree said 88, scan the F up. Bro, flexing. I have an Elite Trainer box as well. I was really excited when that one was in there. Okay, this is just great. This is from the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Haven't watched it. Highly recommend. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend. It's not amazing. It's not bad, though. It's actually a good show. In my opinion, better than whatever I don't even know what the other one was called. The dragon one. The incest one. That came after Game of Thrones. It's better than the incest one. I'd much prefer this. Shorter episodes, shorter season, but I think they're going to do a lot more with the next one because people ate this shit up. It was really good. But this is what it's like to hold altcoins for 5 years. And I can confirm this is 1000% accurate. Very much so. Bar chart posted U.S. Treasury just bought back another 745 million of their own debt. That's over 2.7 billion this week. We like that number. That's a big number. Private credit default rates could soar to 15%, warns UBS, which could be higher than higher than during the global financial crisis. That's very high. Just in, U.S. M2 money supply jumps to a new all-time high of 22.45 trillion. See, if we're gonna, here's my thing. This is what irks me the most, I think. We have this debt. We have this big box of debt. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, we're never going to be able to pay the big box of debt. We can't print that much money. Oh no. We've been saying that for a century at this point. And we end up printing that much money anyways. So why not just admit that inflation is not real and it's all about greed and like psychological implications of knowing that there's more money in the world and all that stuff? Why don't we just print the money, pay the debt, and then nobody gives a shit? Because guess what? Nobody is going to give a shit. Maybe that's incredibly irresponsible and incendiary to even try to converse, but it just makes sense to me because we've already printed the money. We continue to print the money. It seems silly to be like, oh, we can't do that because it's bad. And then eventually it just happens anyways. And then they're like, oopsie, we didn't realize we were printing that much, but I guess we did. It's fine. We just put it elsewhere. We just spent it on even more stuff. It doesn't make any sense, man. Okay, let's continue. Netflix, I'm probably really watering that down. It's probably like way more, way more hands-on than the way that I explained it. So just ignore me. Netflix soars in early trading after withdrawing from Warner Bros. WBD bid. Very cool. Congratulations, Netflix. They need a new Stranger Things. If you asked me to put something on Netflix right now, If you ask me what's your favorite show, like with that's still coming out, what is your favorite incomplete show on Netflix? I would have 0 answers for you because I have no idea. I don't even know what shows are on Netflix that are still running. That is the biggest failing point right now for Netflix. Stranger Things was their flagship show. Wednesday's cool, but that comes out like every 2 or 3 years. I'm not going to pay for Netflix for 2 years while I wait for Wednesday to come out. It's going to come out. I'll pay for Netflix, and then I cancel it afterwards. I don't know. If it wasn't $18 a month, if it was like $5 to $7 like it used to be, I would pay for it. I'm not going to pay $7 a month, though, and then still watch ads. That pisses me off. I don't think that should even be an option. That's like insulting that that option even exists. And then they're like, oh, piracy's making a comeback. We don't know why. That's why. Because Netflix is $17 and you can't share your password anymore. Bar chart posted crude oil on track for its highest closing price since August. Wow, very cool. 10-year Treasury yield falls below 4% for the first time since November. This one's crazy. Target pays $110 million to leave Minneapolis. Target pays $110 million to end lease on 51-story tower in Minneapolis 5 years after previous downsizing. That's crazy. Is Minneapolis where the Mall of America is? Where is Mall of America? It is in Minnesota. Is that right? MN? Yeah, Minnesota. I would like to go to the Mall of America. I would like to accumulate like maybe $2,000 of like just money that I can just throw at whatever, with like knowing that this is gonna be my FU money, and I would like to go to the Mall of America. I think that'd be fun. Okay. S&P 500 heading for its first red month, dividends included since April. This is crazy. That seems about right, honestly. I feel like spring is just bad in general. Bar chart news. Actually, that's a good question. Let's go to Grok really quick. Out of the 4 seasons, what is the average return for each season for the past, I'm just going to say for the stock market, going back as far as possible? I just want to see, because I'm curious. I'm going to guess right now that it's going to be winter. Without looking, I'm actually going to do a poll. We're going to do a poll for this to see if we can nail it. Start poll. You guys can't you can't ask AI either. We have to wait. Which of the 4 seasons is the best performer for the stock market? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. All right, what do you guys think? Let me know. Direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Which of the 4 seasons is the best performer for the stock market? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. I personally think it's winter. I'm not allowed to vote in my own poll, though. I just think people are at home. They have money from working all year, and they spend it. Let's see. How about Peaky Blinders? I have not watched that yet, which is weird because I have a flat cap that looks really good on me. So I should probably watch it. I think I'm a little mildly concerned. I watched The Sopranos. It's a brilliant show. I think I quit smoking either before or just after. I think it was before. A buddy of mine in high school always talked about it, and it's proven true. Every time somebody's smoking a cigarette in a movie or a TV show, even if it's on the news, it looks delicious. And that's coming from a former smoker, so sue me. I have never disagreed with that. The Sopranos is probably the most practical, where I can like get past it, whatever. Peaky Blinders, they light a cigarette on that show, and I'm like, ooh, that looks amazing. They make the cigarette look good, which is crazy. So that's not why I haven't seen it yet. I do want to sit down and watch it. It's one of those things, kind of like Superman. Everyone always hyped up every single Superman movie, which made me nervous to see it because the bar was set so high. Same thing goes for Peaky Blinders. I waited to watch The Sopranos until just like a year or two ago as well. Same reason. Lost, same thing. Any big show like that. Game of Thrones, I waited years because everyone's like, it's the greatest thing in the world. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to watch it because if it sucks, you guys are going to piss me off. Okay. Make sure you guys answer the question in the poll in the chat. We got 4 votes so far. Which of the 4 seasons is the best performer for the stock market? Spring, summer, autumn, winter? Let me know what you think. Professor Oak. Oh, hold on. 88 Metal said, imagine being an addict recovering, watching Breaking Bad. Right. Professor Oak said Peaky Blinders is best Netflix original in my opinion. Ooh, okay. Breaking Bad. Yeah, Breaking Bad I guess would be pretty crazy. I think Limitless would be a bad one because the guy's like all about pills. He's got that pretty much Adderall. I'm convinced that Limitless is about Adderall. And then Weeds, if you guys have not seen it, I'm convinced as well that Weeds was heavily used for inspiration for Breaking Bad. If you guys have not watched Weeds, I think it is a Starz show. It's either Starz or Showtime. And it follows Nancy Botwin. She's a widowed mother who has to sell weed to provide for her family. She's like a suburban mom. It's such a good show. Love that show. Okay, let's get back to it. Weeds is so good. Bar chart news. The great rotation is here. Small caps are outpacing big tech as the Russell 2000 takes center stage in 2026. Capitalize on expected volatility with whatever. They got some sponsorship, but small caps kind of taking the lead. Michael Burry sees Nvidia purchase commitment parallel to Cisco at .com bubble top. Michael Burry warns that Nvidia earnings reports reminds him of Cisco at the peak of the .com bubble. This is what they bar chart had a statistic the other day for somebody else. Was it Robert Kiyosaki? They're like he has called 3 of the last 70 market bottoms or something like that. Basically that he has called a bottom like 70 times and only 3 times he was right or something like that. It was really funny the way they worded it. India's stock market is now 4% over the last 15 months, with their currency also at all-time lows against the US dollar. Is that good or bad? Oh, down 4%. My bad. Okay. That is bad. Interesting. Breaking Nvidia timber. Nvidia taking a big fat dumperino. Walmart now almost twice as expensive as Nvidia. What, because of dollar amount? That's funny. Forward PE much higher than Nvidia's. Oh, ooh. People are going to be buying groceries and daily items in 2035. Are they going to buy Nvidia GPUs in 2035? Does anyone know? Probably. GPUs go bad. So here's my whole thing with that. If we build infrastructure that requires this many GPUs, if we build that next year and we don't build any more infrastructure, we know we need this many GPUs in our infrastructure. Eventually those are going to go bad and we're going to have to replace that with new GPUs. Or stuff's just going to get substantially faster and they're going to want to replace them anyways. So yes, I think people are for sure going to be buying Nvidia GPUs in 2035. Maybe not Nvidia. Maybe somebody else takes a spotlight. I guess my biggest thing with Nvidia now. The biggest risk to Nvidia is a competitor at this point, like AMD. Someone's going to step in and create something just as good, if not better, or maybe even just not as good. Maybe just like 10% less good, but it's like 50% cheaper. So you can just double your capacity, and then suddenly you have more processing power than Nvidia, and you spent the same amount of money. Does that make sense? I'm just saying. It's the same thing that happened with Circle and Coin. All of the stablecoin stocks, everyone was like, oh my gosh, should I buy a Circle? Should I go buy Circle? Stablecoin adoption. And I talked about anyone can make their own stablecoin, and they're probably going to. So Circle's going to do really good for a short period of time, unless they enterprise and they somehow take control of that market share. They're going to lose it. And I think that window passed. Other people are just going to see this is what you have to do to build a stablecoin. Build it. Then we're going to have Citi stablecoin, JP Morgan stablecoin, Bank of America stablecoin, BlackRock stablecoin. Everyone's probably going to have their own stablecoin. It's going to be pegged to the US dollar, pegged to their reserves, their fractional reserves, and that's going to be it. we're going to go back to the US dollar, but they're going to be able to double the money supply because that's the way the stablecoins work. Imagine being able to issue stablecoins on fractional reserve. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. That scares me. That's like, we can increase things by like 9 times, I think. If we can increase the money supply by 9x, I think, if we did that. It's Kwame said, JJ, what's the plan? The plan is 12-hour stream tomorrow. Are you going to be there? That's the plan. Plan potentially, the idea, the concept, the copium, is to bounce at 65 and then an eventual pump to 74. Not financial advice. Just an idea, just a fractal from the fractal Farquaad himself. Let's continue. The great cocoa collapse continues as prices plunge to lowest level since April 2023. Chocolate lovers rejoice. It's weird to see, for some reason, chocolate get ridiculously expensive in 2024 and then hold that for a solid year. That's so odd to me. The later seasons of weeds got weird. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have ended better. That goes to with pretty much every show, though. I think the only show that I have zero criticisms about, and this might be a controversial take, is The Sopranos. Game of Thrones final season was trash. They pretty much crammed like 5 seasons worth of shit in one, rushed everything, and it was awful. On a slow burn show that was like built around politics, they were like, throw the politics out the window, throw the logic out the window. Daenerys forgot stuff. Suddenly everybody's crazy and they're all bad guys and good guys and bad guys and everybody dies. It made no sense. It pissed me off. It was so bad that Disney like backed out of their deal to sign Dumb and Dumber up to direct like the next Star Wars trilogy, which is crazy. Game of Thrones was awful. Lost was confusing, very confusing. Probably went on longer than it should have. Prison Break, great show. Later seasons got awful. It was very much a cash grab. Great show. They were like, we struck gold here. Let's do it again. They did it a couple more times. It was okay, and then it got dumb, and then it got really like confusing. It didn't make any sense. They're like, our great uncle needs to be broken out of prison next. We're gonna go to prison and break out our great uncle. And everyone's like, who the fuck's a great uncle? And they're like, remember that guy that I talked about in season 1? Well, it wasn't him. We've never talked about my great uncle. That one got out of nowhere. No, it just was super confusing. In my opinion, The Sopranos was the only good ending. The only big show that ended beautifully. And Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, hands down, no problems with that. But The Sopranos, S tier, beautiful ending. Loved it. I did not watch Heroes. I have not watched Heroes. I've heard good things, though. It's Kwame said, we need some green candles bad, and I'll for sure be there. Not the whole time because of work, but I'll be there. Appreciate you, Kwame. 88 Metals Mania said, you ever watch older series called The Shield? I have not. I've watched Agents of Shield. That was really good. I stopped watching somewhere along the way, though. One of the shows that I thought was great, Snowfall, was a 6 series as well. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a picture of these. You guys are giving me some good shit. This might be a hot take as well. I thoroughly enjoyed Gotham. I really did. Unfortunately, Ben McKenzie, the guy that plays Gordon, Chief Gordon, is like super anti-Bitcoin to the point of where it's cringy. But I can overlook that because I freaking loved that show. It was very, very good. Very well done. And it's very much like a comic book show. They play into like the gothic noir-esque feeling of Gotham. But it also goes into like the comic booky like shit. I'm really excited for Penguin on HBO. I had no idea that was Colin Farrell. The makeup and prosthetics that they did on him. It's like Tony Soprano meets Gotham. It's so good. Tony Soprano meets Gotham. You get Penguin. Very good. Yeah, the guy that plays Penguin on the Gotham show was also fantastic. One of my favorite scenes in like television history takes place in Gotham. I'm not going to spoil anything. All I'm going to say, I'm not going to say who either. It was a revenge scene, and it was so good. It was so good. Okay, let's continue. Breaking. Michael Berry warns Nvidia's balance sheet is flashing .com era red flags. The Big Short investor says this is not business as usual. This is risk. Just in, 10-year Treasury yield closes at 3.97%. It hasn't closed lower since October 2024. Wow. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway now owns a staggering 5.6% of the entire U.S. Treasury bill market. That is crazy. Next. Last actually. Breaking U.S. banks. Bank stocks suffer largest decline since April. Womp womp. You know what would be really funny is if this just continued and crypto actually did take over and it was like the most smooth transition because of the like change in age group, that the banks just suddenly didn't have enough money to run, because the banks rely on exponential growth. That's where like the population thing comes into play. They're like, well, keep having this many babies. You can't have less babies. If population growth slows, they freak out. Mindhunters was Netflix's banger as well. Mindhunters was really good. Umbrella Academy was good as well. Ed Kemper from Mindhunters was in Umbrella Academy. Brilliant actor. Such a good actor. Also, Umbrella Academy was written by Gerard Way, the singer from My Chemical Romance. He also wrote, what's it called? I don't remember. He wrote one of the superhero shows on HBO, one of the DC superhero shows. He's got like a whole thing with Dark Horse Comics where he writes comics and stuff like that. Like, talk about multi-talented. How sick would that be to pivot from like one entire like pop culture genre to another and be successful in both? That's pretty cool. Okay. The ending. That Pulse Player said the ending and him reliving it. Are you talking about The Sopranos? Be careful. I don't like spoilers. Okay. That's it for a news segment. Portfolios, probably not really worthy an update. Yeah, pretty much everything's down like 70, 60, 70%. Wow. Narrative portfolio down 60. Okay. Knife catching portfolio down 62. 1K to 10K Grok portfolio down 65, 66. No, I think it's 65. 70, 74. Meme coin portfolio down 74%. Wow. Yeah, that Pulse Player. Spoilers. I have not seen Snowfall. Some people may not have seen The Sopranos yet. I just recently watched it. It's so good though. Apparently people hated it. I do like the controversy behind it. The idea that in like, what was it, 2001, 2002, when it ended, the idea of people being like, oh my gosh, my cable broke. It's crazy. That's such a good show though. It's almost timeless. It's weird how timeless it is. Because 2026 now, like times are so different, but the dynamics in that show, it definitely just feels like the government is the mafia now. Which is crazy. Okay. Bitcoin dominance 58.58 and potentially rising here. Bitcoin looking good, up 0.19% on the day. Everything else pretty quiet. No single digit gainers besides gold and silver. Gold and silver looking really good as well. Let's see what tomorrow brings, man. I'm excited for ISM PMI on Monday, especially with Chicago PMI coming in super duper bullish. Most realistic mob characters according to original other mobsters. I believe it. I really do. Hard to beat. Okay, let's check seasons. Let's see what you guys voted for. 30% said spring. Is that what's in the lead? I asked you guys which of the 4 seasons is the best performer for the stock market. 30% said spring, 30% said summer, 30% said winter, 10% said autumn. I said winter. Strongest is spring. What? I never would have guessed. That's crazy. Calendar seasons are defined December, January, February. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. I agree with that. Spring has historically shown the strongest average returns among the 4 calendar seasons, followed by winter, fall, and summer, the weakest, based on S&P 500 data, the standard benchmark for U.S. stock market performance. Calendar seasons are as defined. These are the most common definitions used in financial seasonality analysis. Quarters, not fiscal quarters like Q1, January through March. Average seasonal returns, S&P 500 since 1950. Using widely cited average monthly returns, price returns to total returns with dividends follow a very similar relative pattern, adding roughly 0.3 to 0.4% per month on average, but not changing the ranking. Spring, March, April, May, plus 2.89% is the strongest. I never would have guessed. Never would have guessed. Winter, second strongest, plus 2.55%. December, January, February. So December, January, February, March, April, May, that entire half of the year should be amazing. Or not, I guess not half of the year. That's ending one year and beginning the next year. And then fall, moderate, plus 2.01. September, October, November. Summer, weakest, plus 1.38. June, July, August. That's crazy. Monthly breakdown. January is great. February is boring. March is great. April's amazing. May is boring. June is boring. July is good. August sucks. September sucks. Wow, often the single worst month. Really? I wonder if that's genuinely what the Green Day song is about. Get the gabagool, Bitcoin. October's mediocre. November is great. Often one of the strongest. Really? Never would have guessed. December plus 1.49. Interesting. How is winter not the best then? What do they have winter? December, January, February. That's why. Weird. That's so weird. Okay. Notes, 1950 to present, back in 1928. These are arithmetic sums of monthly averages. Common way to report. True average seasonal holding period return. Compounded 3-month periods across all years is very close, and monthly moves are small. Actual results vary widely year to year. Volatility is high. This is historical tendency, not a predictor. Sell in May and go away. Lower aligns here. May, October, late spring, summer, early fall is weaker than November through April. Late fall, winter, early spring. Seasonality is one of many factors long-term buy and hold has delivered. Around 10% annualized total returns, including dividends, over the full history since the late 1920s. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Data drawn from standard financial reference, blah, blah, blah. Very cool. So, I don't know if you guys are aware. There is a book, I've referenced it a couple of times, by J.L. Collins called The Simple Path to Wealth. I stumbled upon randomly the guy talking about it on X, and I listened to the audiobook. The audiobook is free. If you have Amazon Prime, you can download the audiobook for free via Audible. If you want to buy a hardcover, I do have a referral link in the description. Helps benefit the channel. I'm an audiobook guy, and it's free. So, in that, he talks about how dollar cost averaging into the S&P 500 is the best way to basically build financial freedom, build wealth. And it's not sexy. It's not, I'm a day trader, I'm making millions on the weekend, whatever. Nobody cares. It's as simple as buying the S&P 500 on an average basis. And we had Grok math that out for us. It would take, I think, 27 years to become a millionaire, starting from nothing, if you just dollar cost average $100 a week into the S&P 500. Based on the average returns from the S&P 500, it would take approximately 27 years to accumulate over $1 million, which is pretty cool. But if you guys are interested, books in the description. You can buy the hardcover, help support the channel, or just download the audiobook for free and support yourself and your financial future. Give it a listen. I think it's worth it personally. Buy in May and go away. Yes. Chicago PMI bullish. Apparently spring is bullish, which is exciting because we're about to enter spring. March, April, May, very cool. That is the strongest. So let's see what happens, man. I'm quite stoked. Quite stoked indeed. As always, guys, don't forget to attend the 12-hour live stream tomorrow. When Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, when the market starts to do anything crazy, or anything at all, I will hop back on. It's Kwame said, how long would it take if you invested $100 into Bitcoin every week? You know what? I'm going to delay the end of the stream for that, because that is a great question. Based on the average annual returns since inception, how long would it take me to become a millionaire if I invested $100 into Bitcoin every week, starting from 0? Let's see what we got. That's a great question, Kwame. Cheers, guys. Happy Friday. Very excited that it's Friday as well. Gosh, that's good coffee. Tomorrow, I will be probably brewing coffee frequently on the 12-hour. Should be a fun time. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Absolute legends. How do we feel about the tickers running down there at the bottom of the screen? How do we feel about that? What if I did it on the top? Is the top better? Do we want it on top, maybe? I'm not going to move it. I can probably make it bigger. I think I can make it bigger. Come on. Executing Python. Wow. Bitcoin, $65,969.47, up 0.15% on the day. Silver, still in the show, up 6.25% on the day. $93.76. Gold, up 1.88% on the day. $5,278.60. How far is gold from its current all-time high? Approximately, I'm going to go right here. 6-7%? That's crazy. 6-7 is a meme as well. Okay. Wow! What? Approximately 5 years, roughly 4 years and 8 to 11 months, or 240 to 260 weeks. This projection assumes Bitcoin continues to deliver its historical compound annual growth rate, the proper measure for long-term compounding, of roughly 185 to 218% per year since inception in 2009. There's no freaking way. Okay, let me change this up then. Okay, do the math using the average return, average annual return from just the past, well, what do we do, 6 years? Yeah, that's crazy. That's freaking crazy, dude. I was not expecting that. No response. What? What do you mean no response? Do the math utilizing the average annual return from just the past 4 years. Did I say 4? I'm going to go 6. It's past 6 years. The past 2... Yeah, past 6 years, since 2020. Am I crazy? Why isn't it working? Copy. Am I maxed out for the day? Maybe I might be maxed out. Hang on. Sign in. Do I have to hang on? Let me sign in really quick. Give me one moment. This is important stuff, guys. This is important research. Log in with X. Authorize app. And redirecting. Okay, we're in. All right. If I invested $100 into Bitcoin per week, how long would it take me to become a millionaire, starting from zero, assuming Bitcoin maintains its average annual return from the past, or since 2020. So let's modernize it a little bit, because the return does shrink every single year. So instead of just going of all time, because Bitcoin has had exponential growth since its inception, it is very, very young. So that's kind of unfair. Let's ask it this. Okay. We got them working. Gold still chilling. Silver looking as good as ever. Very cool. I still think the ISM PMI is going to come in crazy on Monday. We're looking for a potential above 55 would be nuts. And it does kind of match with what we've seen in the past. So what did we guess? We guessed 50. So my secondary guess, I suppose, because we got this small growth rate here. What is this? 52.1 to 53.6. So I'm going to go maybe 54. This is my backup guess right here, 54. There we go, 52.6 to 54. Bam. All right. Let's see. Secondary. Kind of cheating a little bit, but you gotta have a fallback plan. Why not? Make it a different blue. Kwame said, LMAO, yeah, I'll buy Bitcoin. Yeah, that's crazy. Gourmet Brand said, cheers, JJ. I'll try to make it tomorrow for a little bit. I got a big honey-do list to work on. Congratulations, Gourmet Brands. Keep up with that happy wife. That's important. Cheers, my friend. Happy Friday. So yeah, we're looking for a bullish ISM PMI print on Monday. I'm excited. Bitcoin chilling. Let's go back down to the 4-hour time frame. I get like, it's almost like someone coming over and your house is dirty, but you don't have any time to clean it, so they just walk in and you're like, ooh. Whenever we really zoom out and you can see all the lines on my charts, I'm always like, oh my gosh, ooh, I'm so sorry. It's not normally like this. HQZ said I need to set up a recurring buy like right now. If you guys haven't already, sign up for Coinbase and link in the description. Use my referral and we'll both benefit somehow. I don't remember. It's probably changed since then. I should actually check it. But my opinion, Coinbase probably the safest. They're very heavily regulated. High fees though, so don't use them to trade. They are a good on-ramp. They are bad for trading. All right, let's see. Approximately 11 years and 10 months, 615 weeks. You'd reach 1 million Bitcoin portfolio at value after investing $100 weekly, total cash invested, 61,500, assuming Bitcoin's price continues to grow at its historical compound annual growth rate of 43.3% since the start of 2020. Key assumptions: historical period, time span 6.16 years, multiplier 9.16x growth. Very cool. This is a dollar cost average scenario with continuous compounding. Weekly invested $100. Future value formula annuity. At that point, your Bitcoin holdings accumulated from all weekly buys would be worth exactly $1 million. Total money you've put in, 615 times $100, 61,500. The rest is growth. That's freaking crazy. Port caveats: this assumes perfect constant 43.3% annual compounding with no volatility, fees, taxes, or slippage. Real Bitcoin has massive drawdowns that would slow progress in practice. Since 2020 is interpreted as the full period starting January 1st, 2020. Shorter, longer windows change the CAGR. Past performance does not equal future results. Bitcoin could do better or much worse. In short, under the exact assumption in your question, you'd hit millionaire status in Bitcoin in just under 12 years. Okay, so let me ask this question then. Okay, what if I just had 60K to buy Bitcoin right now? How long, if I just made that one buy, would it take for that 60K to become 1 million? Let's see. that'll be the last question. This is cool. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. I'm excited for, probably not doing good today because Jane Street. That's my go-to excuse now. Whenever crypto's down, I'm like, Jane Street. Damn it, Jane Street. Bitmine back at the bottom of the ditch, essentially. 93.76 cents silver and gold. Whenever I see a down chart, I just go straight to the to the one that's not down, just immediately. We're chilling. We are chilling. You guys got any plans this weekend? Okay. Approximately 7 years. Okay, so if you had all that money, you wouldn't really like. You're gaining 3 years. No. 4 years. You're getting about 4 or 5 years if you had all that money at once right now. Yeah, it's 4 years, 7.82. With one-time $60,000 lump sum. Interesting. So it seems actually like less stressful to just $100 a week and just set it and forget it. That's a big chunk. That's $400 a month, and a lot of people can't afford that. That's a lot of money. Work and more work. Oh, 100%, dude. Work, honestly, the biggest psychological hurdle, I think, with crypto is everyone thinks that they can just put what money they have in, and then they don't have to go to work ever again. They're like, I'm just going to buy crypto. I'm going to trade crypto, and then I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Or I can be, like, pissy with my boss. Or, like, there's, like, this weird psychological disconnect. And that is so far from the truth. You should never approach it that way. It's irresponsible, almost childish. And I did the same thing. I'm guilty of it. I think everyone is at one point. But when I kind of switched that off and I pivoted towards, instead of treating work like this chore, which I never really did. I enjoy my job. But instead of treating it like a chore, I treated it like a benefit. I get to go to work and make money so that I can accumulate more crypto or stocks or silver, whatever, Pokemon cards. So I can accumulate more investments, snowball this wealth, compound my future, essentially. And that made it so much easier, dude. That made it so much easier. That Pulse Player said JJ would be mad at me if I said I want another 9 months of down chop to accumulate more. 9 months, I don't think that's that far off. If we are in the true 4-year cycle downtrend, then we're stuck waiting until October. And we're ending February right now, so that's 6 months from now. The difference between my 6 and your 9 is only 3, so 3 months is nothing. 9 months, a baby is from inception to birth 9 months. So we're making a baby. Our portfolio is in the oven right now. So no, I would not be mad at all. At least on stream. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. Imagine having enough money to sue people just for saying something you didn't like. That Pulse player said that the bear market is going to be 9 more months, so send him a cease and desist. That's a level of FU money I want to get to. Just to be able to do BitBoy lawsuits. Oh man. I've reached a point now in my YouTube career with like all 10 of my concurrent viewers where I'm like, I should just talk shit about all the famous crypto people, because if they do sue me, then I can kind of get like an Atozy uprising, because BitBoy was like, I'm suing you, and he was like, BitBoy's suing me, and everyone was like, F BitBoy, we love Atozy, and now he's huge. Like, I get him recommended all the time, and he's funny, he's a cool dude, I like his streams, it's a fun time, or I don't know if he streams, I like his videos. So I don't know, maybe somebody should sue me. You know what would suck? Is if that happened, but nobody gave a shit, so I just got sued. And there was no benefit to me. I'm just sitting here getting sued for no reason, and nobody cares, like my channel just dies. That would be so shitty. Oh, man. Alright, I'm going to start prepping for tomorrow's 12-hour live stream. So, I'm going to let you all go. As always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow for the 12-hour live stream. Don't forget it. Join the Discord. Links in the description. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy Friday. And don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. And good night.